Hello, my name is Barris Anderson, and I'm going to be demonstrating the New York Times International Weekly Translation Workflow on the Windows platform. The first thing to do is to find your VPN application, launch it, connect, username, password, password followed by the numbers that appear on the VPN card. If you ever receive a message like this, please enter the next code. Simply wait until the numbers on the Secure ID card have passed. Once they've changed to the new set of numbers, go ahead and enter those numbers. So let's just wait until the numbers on my card changes. Have about 10 more seconds. Okay, the numbers have changed. And as you can see, we have a successful connection. Go ahead and click continue. The next thing to do is to find your Microsoft Remote Desktop Connection client. When the client opens, go ahead and click on Options. The first thing to configure is the computer or server address. There's an example of this here, but our address will be nsac.nytint.com. You could also put an IP address in there as well, but this is the DNS that we're going to use to connect to our server. Next, go to the Display tab. Under the Display tab, by default, you should set your connection to 1024 by 768. This is recommended. You can go larger if you have a larger screen. For the color setting, it's better to set the color to high color 16-bit. 16-bit allows the connection to be faster. You can choose the higher color if you wish. Move over to the Experience tab. Make sure that the only checkbox that's checked is the bitmap caching. So uncheck anything else. Then go back to the General tab. We want to say Save As. Locate your desktop. Now name your file. I'm going to call this NYTIW. Click on Save. Now we can close this window. Locate that file that you just saved on your desktop. When you get there, you want to right-click on this file. Go to Open With. You may not see anything in this list, but we want to open this with Notepad, but let's just assume that there's nothing in this list. Just go to Choose Default Program. You should get a window similar to this. Find Notepad or WordPad, any text editing application. Select it, click OK. Your file should open this way. Locate the line item that says Compression. You'll notice a 1 at the end of this line. You want to change that number 1 to a number 0. Once you've done that, go to File, Save, Close. Notice the file, the icon has changed. So in order to change this back, we're going to right-click on this file again. This time go down to Properties. Notice here, Open With. You see Notepad. Go to the Change button. Simply select Remote Desktop Connection. Click OK. Notice how the icon has changed back now. We simply need to say Apply, then OK. Now this icon contains all of the necessary configurations to connect to our remote desktop environment so that we can begin using InCopy and K4. So let's go ahead and double click. As you can see, we're connecting to our remote desktop. Now here you want to enter your last name, comma, space, first name for your username. And I will do this for mine. Corresponding password. Click on Login. And your remote desktop environment will appear. Notice your application loadout at the bottom of the screen. What you want to do is click on Adobe InCopy CS3. Now we'll need to log into K4. There's two ways to log into K4. The first way is by the K4 Edit pull-down menu. We can simply click on this and say Login, or we can go to the little key icon on the query palette. Perhaps your query palette is closed and your screen looks this way. Just simply find the query palette on the side. My name is already configured here. You want to enter your username and your password. And as you can see, I have access to multiple articles here. You will only have access to the articles of your paper, and the status of your articles will say needs translation. And let's just use an article as a test. Let's select this article. In order to get this article, there's multiple ways to check it out, but I'm going to recommend to you by using the query palette buttons. Okay, we want to use the checkout button. It's the first button on the palette. Click checkout. Let's just minimize. Before we do anything else, the first thing you're going to see is a message about missing fonts. Just click OK. Simply ignore that. Let's get the query palette out of the way. Let's minimize it. Or we could double click it. Either way. Notice here in our article, we have multiple ways of viewing this article. By default, you'll get story mode. Also, we have galley mode, which gives you a line count and a right to fit box. We have a layout mode. Okay, let's just assume that you're done editing this article. Let's go back to our query palette. Make sure you find the story that you have checked out. You'll know that the story is checked out, signifying a green check mark. Simply select that article, go to the check-in button. That is the third button on the query palette. You can add any notes. Simply click on check-in. Now let's check this article out again. Click OK to our message, font message. As you can see, the note that I applied here will pop up on the screen for anyone that's working on this article. Okay, let's minimize our query palette. Let's say we needed to do some more changes on this, and we had a lot more work to do. So what we want to do is make sure that we save a revision of this article. The way we do that is clicking on this button here, the second button, Save a Version. I feel like removing this note. Since I got my note, I'm going to say Save. So now I have a version of this article saved in the database in case I needed to call it up again. Now I'm done, absolutely done. So I want to check this article back in, but I want everyone to know that this article is done. So I'm going to click on the Check In button, and I want to go to the Status menu. And I want to change this to Translation Done. That's number 5, Translation Done. And then check it. And that's it. Let's say we're absolutely done with this and we want to leave this and we're done for the day. What we do is go to the Apple menu item, go all the way down to log out, confirm your logout. You may get an error message, but that's okay. Then you want to disconnect from your VPN. Simply click on your VPN icon. Disconnect. And that concludes the translation workflow.